going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is going to be the second movie in my Marvel and DCEU series. This is The Incredible Hulk. And this was, honestly, one of the movies that people like least. And I can kind of see why. It certainly wasn't a perfect movie, but I honestly thought it was a lot better than a lot of people said. To be very honest, it was directed by Louis Leterrier, and it had Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, or the Incredible Hulk, and I thought he was really, really good, honestly. And I love the way the movie starts out. We'll get into that in a second. It also starts out with Liv Tyler as Betty Ross, William Hurt as General Thunderbolt Ross, her father, and just through the opening credits, you get kind of introduced to all three of these characters. As the credits are going, you see the experiment that turned Bruce Banner into the Incredible Hulk. You see that he kind of raged out, accidentally hurt Betty Ross, Liv Tyler's character, accidentally hurt William Hurt's character, General Ross. And so General Ross has his vendetta with Bruce Banner, or the Incredible Hulk. And he's going on this like manhunt. Now keep in mind, he's a general, so he's got a lot of military power behind him. And they want the Incredible Hulk. They want that power. Of course they do. And so you start out the actual movie where Bruce Banner is in South America. He's trying to learn how to control his anger and his emotions and his pulse. Keep his heart rate down, because obviously that's something that kind of precedes the Incredible Hulk. And so, he's learning breathing techniques. He's got a heart rate monitor watch. He's he's doing all these things to try to keep the Hulk at bay. But then he's working at a factory. Some of his blood gets spilled, and it's a soda factory. Some of the blood gets in a bottle. And a really cool cameo by Stan Lee where he's the one who opens the fridge, drinks the bottle, and falls down and has gamma poisoning. So they realize kind of where Bruce Banner is. And so the general sends a squad who is led by Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky. Emil Blonsky, if you don't know in the comics, turns into the Abomination. The Abomination is one of the Hulk's main arch nemesis in the comics. So this was Emil Blonsky's first view of Bruce Banner as the Hulk. There's a big chase scene and a fight that kind of, Bruce Banner can't take it anymore, turns into the Hulk. Tim Roth sees the power of the Hulk. Obviously, he just obliterated his whole squad. And so Tim Roth now wants that power. He wants to know what the hell made Bruce Banner the Hulk. And so he volunteers his efforts if General Ross wants to go on a manhunt again. And of course, that's exactly what happens. Now, the first fight sequence was very cool because they kept the Hulk in the shadows a lot. A lot of superhero movies, you see the superhero right away, and it's this big moment. And with him, it was more like a horror movie. He was in the shadows. You see guys getting dragged off and thrown. You see this huge creature and people freaking out. And so it was a lot darker and, like I said, a lot more horror than it was superhero. The second fight was much different than that. It was out in broad daylight. They're on a manhunt. They have this big military unit with a lot of really cool military weapons trying to capture the Hulk, and you get to see everything, and it was pretty amazing. And I honestly really liked the effects here. When I was talking about Obadiah Stane as the main villain in Iron Man, it's kind of one note. And I guess I kind of feel that way about Emil Blonsky, but I actually liked Emil Blonsky's, as an antagonist a little bit more, because you kind of understood what he wanted, even though you didn't agree with it and it was kind of weird and despicable. You got it. You kind of understood that there was this power, this seemingly unattainable power that now is kind of attainable, and he wanted it. And so I kind of like that. Tim Blake Nelson also is in the movie. He plays Samuel Stearns, who is a guy that's helping out Bruce Banner try to figure out a cure, which of course never works. You also have Lou Ferrigno as the voice of the Incredible Hulk. He voices the Hulk throughout the movie. He also has a short cameo as a guard in one of these facilities. So I thought it was really cool that they added Lou Ferrigno. If you don't know, Lou Ferrigno played the actual Incredible Hulk in a TV series way back before a lot of these special effects. And he was just one big built dude. So it was really cool they gave him a nod there. At the end, Emil Blonsky figures out that, it was gamma radiation that turned Bruce Banner. He uses Samuel Stearns to change him. And so he turns into the Abomination. And that's your big standoff at the end of the movie. General Ross really realizes he screwed up when he first sees the Abomination. Sends in Bruce Banner to take care of business. That's exactly what happens. There's a big fight. And, of course, when you have a fight between the Incredible Hulk and the Abomination, it's going to be a big CGI fight. The CGI looked great, though. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, they really made a great fight. I thought it was really great looking. And so I think it was a really good balance of trying to establish the human character of Bruce Banner and what you're going to have as a CGI fest. And I don't think you could have balanced it much better, to be very honest. When you're talking about a standalone Hulk movie, let's be honest, you're going to get the CGI fest. And so I really felt like it was a great balance. You had really 3 main action sequences. They were all very, very good, in my opinion. So Bruce Banner winds up killing the Abomination and goes back into hiding. So you kind of cut the movie with General Ross. He's at a bar. He's, kind of in self-pity mode. And then Tony Stark comes in. Robert Downey Jr. comes in as Iron Man and, says that there's this new plan in action and that Ross needs to stand down, is basically what it was. And so it was very cool, man. That was a great cameo. And again, it leads into what we now know is the first Avengers movie. So very, very good, man. I actually really liked The Incredible Hulk. I really did. I don't get a lot of the hate that it gets. I personally like the antagonist, like I said, better than I did Stain. I thought Edward Norton was good. I really liked some of the chemistry between him and Liv Morgan when they actually started to interact. I thought it was really good. So I didn't have a problem with this movie really at all. I did like the first Iron Man more. I would probably give this like a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. And I would say closer to 8. It was still a really fun movie. You got a lot of special effects. You got stuff you've never seen before. You got the humor. So it was just a fun ride for me. Again, and that's really what these movies are about. So as far as people hating on it, that's not me. I don't care. This is my opinion. I liked it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm at with The Incredible Hulk. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.